did. I'm not gonna lie here. It did get out of hand. It has, because I've seen that many musicals, and half of them I don't remember because I've seen that many. But there was also good. There was really good in different. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harry, and today I'll be doing something a little bit different today. I'll be talking about how I actually got into liking musical theatre. But before we get into the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and also press the bell button for new video updates. I'll be putting a link in the description for all of my social media accounts that you can all follow following my stagey journey, where everything is actually a little bit stagey, and I mean everything. If you don't know, I post musical theatre content every Sunday. So today I'll be talking about something a little bit different. I've never done this on my channel before. I'll be talking about actually how I actually got into liking musical theatre and how I became this musical theatre geek as I am today, and how I became this musical theatre geek and then ended up starting this YouTube channel. So yeah. So when I was born, 2005, I just got into music straight away. I used to love, I still do, like, I don't know who doesn't. I loved Disney musicals, and my family used to have a CD of Disney musicals and Disney songs, which they played all the time, and it played that much, it got worn out. It was literally non-existent, and that's how it really began. And I used to instantly click when I heard music, and it was just something that was generally something like that. And then I got into a musical theatre group, well, a musical group, as I should say, called The Wiggles from Australia. If you don't know The Wiggles, and if you have a theatre or someone who likes music and you want them to get into theatre, I suggest you to get them to watch The Wiggles, because that's ultimately how it really started for me. And then so The Wiggles really started that for me. I literally loved them. I can't remember like a day where I didn't watch them or listen to them, and the songs are really catchy. If you don't know them, if you do know them already, you'll know that they are really catchy, and they do get stuck in your head, in a good way when you were young, but in a bad way when you're older. But then I was in 2008, I was 3, and I saw Joseph, and that was Craig Chambers, and that was in Sheffield, and that's how my first ever like proper musical that I saw. I was, I think, the third row, I think, and when you're young, you don't expect a child to be sat in a theatre quiet, and I wasn't old enough to understand that, so I was one of those kids that sang all the way through the show, and I feel very sorry for the people in front, behind, and besides of me singing my heart out to Joseph. And yes, I did. And basically the brothers who was playing the actors, kept waving at me. I know that shouldn't happen for actors. I'm very sorry, if you are watching this, I'm very sorry for distracting you, but they kept waving at me because they saw a child that was young interacting with that show. They was singing, they was dancing, and that brought to life their show. And then in 2009, I saw Hairspray with Michael Ball and Nigel Planer, and that was like my second musical, and obviously Hairspray was Hairspray is a really good musical. Like, it's one of the popular ones. It's really well known. And then in 2010, I saw my first ever musical in the West End, and it was Wicked. Wicked the musical in the West End. And here is a little story about Wicked, and I don't still believe it, but here is. Apparently, I cried within the end of the musical, and I think I did cry. I don't believe it, but to be honest, I think I did because it was one of the first ever Western musicals that I ever did see. So I was I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. That like I'm in the West End, in a Western theatre watching a show, and we was actually up in the dress circle. So at at this age, I really didn't like sitting down in the stalls. I was absolutely frightened of things coming into the audience and like coming up in my face and etc. It was really scary for me. Like, it was like one of these things like, oh, if we sat down in the stalls, would there be something like there next to me? So we usually sat up in the dress circle or the circle, maybe whatever theatre we was in and what it was ever called. And then it was, I had a little gap, and oh, actually, back to the other story, back to the first three musicals. I actually, because I was young, and I used to get really excited when I was going to see a musical. And yes, I know this isn't good theatre etiquette, and yes, I was only young, so please don't come at me now. I did sleep in Wicked. Yes, I slept in Wicked. But that was because I was really young and I got really excited. And there was one song where I woke up, and I'm just going to let you guys put in the comments down below guessing which song it was that I woke up from and started singing. Just put down below and I'll say yes or no to that one. And then back to the story that I was going to finish. I had a gap where I had a operation where I had a year-long gap from musicals, from theatre. I still listened to them, but I didn't go and see any. Where I had a hospital operation, and that took a year out. And then in 2013, so probably 2013, because I had my operation in 2012. In 2013, I actually went to go and see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at the Royal Drury Lane Theatre with Douglas Hodge and Nigel Planer, who was actually in Hairspray that I saw in 2009. So yeah, that was like the first musical that I saw back. And if anybody did see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you will know that it was an amazing musical. It was so good. It was like the glass elevator, the little Umpa-Lumpers, and oh my god, it was like, I think that was one of the big musicals that I saw that I was like overtook in set, like Wicked, the Wicked set, Wicked set, amazing. Like, if you've ever seen Wicked, you'll know that the set is so good, and Elphaba going up in the interval, well, just before, in the amazing song that is well known by Idina Menzel, Defying Gravity, which, oh my god, I wish I could sing. And like, I think as well, that's how I got into musical theatres, because like the memories of the set, like each time I saw a musical, I was like, oh my god, that set is so good. And then that came across that way as well. And then that's like, so Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the set was really good. And then I think that's when it just took off. And then like after that, I was in a pantomime called Peter Pan Peter Pan, the pantomime. I was a lost boy in Sheffield, and then that's where it all began. I started seeing more musicals. I started seeing a lot more than I did. We used to go and see like once every year, but because I got that obsessed with them, it got a little bit out of hand, I should say. Yeah, it did. I'm not gonna lie here. It did get out of hand. It has, because I've seen that many musicals, and half of them I don't remember because I've seen that many, but they was also good. They was really good in different ways. So yeah, that's how I really started to get into musicals. Like the Wiggles started it off instantly, but the first ever proper musical, different ways. So yeah, that's how I really started to get into musicals. Like the Wiggles started it off instantly, but the first ever proper musical was Joseph. Joseph was the one that started me off on the track of musicals, and then I saw Hamilton. I've seen Six. I've seen Waitress. Jamie. All the ones that are well known in like now, and I've seen them now, and I'm just an obsessed musical theatre geek. So yeah. But that's it from me today, guys, and I hope you like this video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and also press the bell button for new video updates. And I hope to see you for another musical theatre video soon. Bye!